6 Sports Report.
The Pens tied the series up at 2 last night, beating Ottawa 3-2, and it was Matt Murray who stood out, making his first postseason appearance over Fleury. Nittany Lions up to number 10 in the college football playoff rankings. They have big bowl game hopes in front of them, and with the focus on the seniors this week, James Franklin's first recruiting class to complete their senior years. Attention is still on the O-line, and good news from practice tonight from the men up front. More than a decade, the Steelers haven't met the Patriots in the AFC Championship, and maybe it's just better that way because the Patriots seemingly like to keep the Steelers one step away from the Super Bowl. And if you're a Steelers fan, today was a tough one to watch. And let's just say the Pirates were able to keep their cool. Chad cool, that is. 28 total medals, 23 gold medals, most decorated Olympian of all time. That describes only one athlete. Talk about climbing. Many of our area teams have earned their spot in the state playoffs this past week, and for the few softball teams that recently won district titles, they're looking to use their wins as motivation.
There's been a lot of talk about what this rivalry game actually means today, but last year we got to see a rivalry game end in dramatic fashion.
Portage, as we know, has a veteran coach, and North Star's coming off a losing season, trying to rebuild too as well this year, but Portage to me is just really hitting their stride at this point in the season, and I think they're going to take this one.
You know, whatever Kari Osep is doing when it comes to how she decides her picks, it's working, obviously.
Could it be the notes?
It has to be the notes.
That's it for sports. We'll be back after the break. Last night, the Pens could have claimed the cup for the first time on home ice, and it would have been Pittsburgh's first championship won at home since 1960, but unfortunately, history was not rewritten, and the Sharks forced Game 6 with a 4-2 victory. Let's recap all the scoring. If you blinked in the first period, you possibly missed all of the goals. It starts off with a quick goal from the Sharks. Brent Burns collects the assist, and with a wrist shot within the first 2 minutes, Sharks are on the board. And nearly a minute later, Logan Couture tips in the shot from Justin Braun. Sharks take the early 2-0 lead, things not looking good for Murray. The Colts, they were luckless tonight as Scott Tolzien gets the start. Good news for the Steelers, and they got things going quickly. Here is Le'Veon Bell. He gets that easy first touchdown. But then here's a highlight for the Colts. Punt, and Colts emergency quarterback Pat McAfee has the fake punt here with the 35-yard pass. But here's the real highlight. Look at this celebration strut from McAfee. Pretty cool. But that would lead to a Colts touchdown, but then Tolzien shows off the rust. He is intercepted by Mitchell.
Sports Report.
Hi, everyone. Pens looking to finish out the regular season tonight against the New York Rangers. Both of these teams have clinched spots in the playoffs, so more players will be getting some rest tonight, including Sidney Crosby, who all but clinched the Rocket Richard Trophy last night with his 44th goal of the season. But we have to wait until everyone's game finishes to make that official. So I guess this game really doesn't matter, but come on, winning does matter. So let's start it here in New York. Tristan Jarry getting the start between the posts, giving Murray and Fleury some rest for the Pens. Pens offense gets it started, though. Nick Bonino with the rebound goal there takes the 1-0 lead. Later, Carter Rowney steals the puck and puts this one away to tie the game at 2. But in the third period, Rangers win this faceoff, and Jimmy VC scores the game winner. The Rangers take this one 3-2, hopefully leaving the winning for the Pens in the playoffs. Those begin on Wednesday. And doesn't seem that long ago that Penn State hockey was playing with hopes of making their first appearance in the Frozen Four, but Denver denied those dreams, and on Saturday, Denver won a national championship against Minnesota Duluth. Denver wins its first title since 2005 with a 3-2 win over the Bulldogs, making Penn State the only team to score 3 goals against Denver throughout the playoffs. And at 2-2 on the season, Pirates are taking advantage of an inconsistent Braves team. Today, they were looking for the first sweep of the season at PNC Park, but the Braves did not make it easy. It was Kids Day and the throwback uniforms, good for a Sunday. Well, we're going to start in the fourth. Braves up 2-1, but a Jordy Mercer base hit is enough time for Bell to make his way around third and score. It's tied at 2. We're going to take it all the way to the bottom of the 8th, though. Starling Marte slices one to left. That's mishandled, allows Josh Harrison to score, cuts the Braves' lead 4-3. But later in the 9th, Marte again, a grounder to third, brings Polanco home as freezes out at second. Now it's all tied up at 4, and that would mean extras. And he already did it all day, so who better to finish it off than Starling Marte with the walk-off home run. Pirates win it 6-5, and a huge day for Marte, who went 4 for 5 with 2 RBI and 2 runs of his own. A perfect ending to a home opener weekend. They face the Reds tomorrow. And the 2017 Masters has come to a close today, and there is a new owner of the coveted green jacket as well. Someone trying to win a major for a very long time, since 1999 to be exact. It came down to Justin Rose and Sergio Garcia on the 18th. Rose would miss a birdie putt, almost sealing the victory for Garcia, but wait, Garcia has been looking for a major title after 74 starts. The pressure caught up to him as he missed his putt too. To sudden death we go. Rose would finish the hole with a bogey, leaving Garcia to redeem himself here. He made this birdie putt to win the one-hole playoff and his first ever Masters victory. And again, his first major title. You can tell the crowd was behind him. After all this time, Garcia finally earned himself that coveted green jacket. And here's a final look at the leaderboard. Following Garcia and Rose was Schwartzel in third, and then American Matt Kuchar tied for fourth with Peters. Then Paul Casey took sixth with a two-way tie in seventh. And Garcia winning a major title after all this time is pretty epic, but so was this from Matt Kuchar. We're gonna let this ride a little bit, but I guess I'll just tell you already. This was a hole-in-one, and I know these guys are professional, but come on, this seems nearly impossible, especially at Augusta. He couldn't even believe it himself. If only I could pull that off on the course. I can barely pull that off at putt-putt. Your fan even got to walk away with the souvenir, so something really cool to go along with that Masters. And we are inching closer and closer to that blue-white game on April 22nd, and that means the Nittany Lions are getting themselves ready to put on a show. And we've mentioned before how the spring is time to develop players before the start of the season, and for many of the older players like Jason Gabenda, it's about discipline and getting your body right before football is back. Something he's taking seriously this spring.
To treat your body like a pro now, it's going to be easier down the road and stuff like that. So that's kind of really what it was. I just want to get the most of my body, and that starts with nutrition and those little things. So I ate Panda this entire winter and spring. I used to love Panda Express, so I kind of gave that up for the most part. So.
I agree with you there, Jason. Hard to give it the fast food. It's McDonald's for me, but Panda Express is good. And that's it for sports. We'll be back after the break.